nation. Hebrew kingdom building.
At the full moon on a solemn feast day. For this is a statute for Yisrael, a Torah of the Alua of Yaakov.
All right, y'all. All praise to the Most High. We together again at the head of the moon. So this is a significant Rosh Kodesh for us because this is the last Rosh Kodesh of the calendar of the Omer. So there's always two Rosh Kodeshes. I don't know, Rosh Kodeshim? I don't know how they say that. But there's two every calendar of the Omer. We're at the last one before Shavuot. And on top of that, this is day. That's interesting, huh? How not only is this Rosh Kodesh, and this is the second day, and we're in the calendar of the Omer, but it happened to fall on day 40 of the calendar of the Omer this year. Very interesting, because you know the 4 is all about a lot of things. You know, the lights. Number 4 is all about the lights in the Shamayim. Because you know, number 4 is when the sun, moon, and the stars was created on day 4, right? Number 4 is about testing, especially that 40, you know, the 40 years in the wilderness. So it's about testing and trial. But number 4 is also surrounded around the appointed times, because the sun, moon, and stars is surrounded around the appointed times. Number 4 is also surrounded around access. It's surrounded around access. Because once you pass those trials and those things, now there's another level of access. All those who made it through that 40 years in the wilderness, they made it to where? The promised land. So we know that the fourth letter, the letter that's number 4 in Hebrew is what? The Dalet. The Dalet, right? Right, the Dalet. That's the number 4. Remember, every Hebrew letter is also a number as well. You know, like how they got it's like that in the Romans too. That's why they got Roman numerals. They wasn't the first people to do that. Hebrew has always been like that. Every letter is a number as well. So the Dalet is also, it will be number 4 in English. I get it? What's number 40 in Mem? Oh man, she went to get some more. I know she know. I think number 40 is the Mem, isn't it? So number 40 is the Mem, which can mean chaos. It also means the multitudes. Like the mixed multitude, a multitude of people, like the nations, all the nations. Because you know, 40 is also about, what else? What's the mem? The nation's chaos, blood, languages, tongues, all those things are related to each other. And so it's also an aspect of of being like the other nations, or it's a double-edged sword, either being like the other nations or amongst the other nations, which is chaos, or being set apart from the other nations, being Kodesh. That's Shem. Shem, with the descendants of Shem, which means the breakdown is to be set apart from the nations, or to be set apart from the other nations. That's why when somebody was to be set apart for a certain work, they were what? What did they do? What did they do with the kings before they started to be set apart for a certain work? It's a recap. What did the prophets do to make a king the king? What was one of the things that happened? It meant that they would just set them apart for a certain work. Yes. They were anointed with oil. The king had to be anointed. The same thing with the priest. They had to be anointed with oil. The Hebrew word for oil is shemen. It's shemen. It's to be set apart. It's like setting apart the seed from the nations. So it's very interesting what's going on, but all praises to the Most High. So, yeah, you can put the lights back on, sorry. So it's interesting that Bakir Ezra, she did this one, all praise to the Most High. But the word that she used was chasten. Did you think that through? The chastening, number 40 and all that, the tests and the trials. Hallelujah. Because that lines up. That's it. My son, do not despise the chastening of Yahuwah, nor detest his correction. For whom Yahuwah loves, he corrects, just as a father, the son in whom he delights. And you see, she actually has a staff there. That's the rod of correction. We're going to talk about that a lot today. And I know she didn't know nothing about that because I ain't tell nobody what we was going to talk about today. Except Bakir Yamin. Because he was supposed to actually help me out, and then he wasn't. Then he got sick on us. Nah, he'll be all right, though. He'll be all right. Just move this over here so it won't spill. All right, Ms. Parker. So what we're going to talk about today is a continuation of what we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. That's what we're going to talk about today. Do y'all have a little bit of a remembrance of what we've been talking about the last couple of weeks? Sexual immorality. Say it. Abraham's bosom. So that's what we're going to be getting into, more of the Abraham's bosom part of it, okay? Man, it's a lot, y'all. So now see, we might gonna have to do another one. I don't know. We'll see what the Most High. We'll see what happens. But it's just a lot to this, y'all. All right. So remember when I was saying that we are all. Toda, appreciate it. Remember when I said that we are all messengers. We are all Malakim. Okay. We are all Malakim. We are all messengers. So Yahuwah gave Melech the understanding about the kingdom of Nabiim. Y'all remember that? That means everybody is a Nabi. Everybody. Okay. So keeping that in mind, we're going to go to Revelation 22, okay? Y'all see on the screen? Revelation 22, verse 8. It says, Now I, Yachanan, saw and heard these things. And when I heard and saw, I fell down to worship before the feet of the Malak, or angel, who showed me these things. This is the end of the book of Revelation, y'all. So this is the Malak who was showing them these things that we read in the book of Revelation. Then he said to me, See that you do not do that, for I am your fellow servant and of your brethren, the Nabiim, the prophets, and for those who keep the words of this book, and of those who keep the words of this book, worship Alua. Hold on. We ain't going to be doing that, son. Just take the pictures from there. You can do it from there. Yeah, zoom it in. As y'all see here, this was a Malak. This was a celestial being, and he had to clarify to Yakanah, hey, man, I'm one of you. We the same, man. Oh, you can't, don't do that. You'll get me in trouble. Nah, man, we the same. I'm of your brethren, the prophets. I submit to y'all to read what he was showing here is that the prophets are Malakim. The prophets are eternal beings. They are Malakim. In other words, the Nabiim are Malakim. So if this is a kingdom of Nabiim, 1 + 1 = 2, right? That means this is a kingdom of Malakim. Everybody is a Malak. Melekiym had the revelation about the sons of light. These are the sons of light, y'all. What do you think a Nabi is? All throughout the scriptures, a Nabi was someone who was a messenger. He came and brought messages from Yahuwah to the masses. But for the most part, primarily, the people who Yahuwah was dealing with was the Nabiim. He wasn't dealing with everybody. And then he'll let the Nabiim go out to deal with everybody. So everybody will know what Yahuwah's is saying based on what his messengers was bringing out. You get what I'm saying? And you're either going to heed the word or not. And if you reject the word, Yahuwah's going to take it as you are rejecting him. Because, see, the Nabiim are the body of Yahusha. They are his body. They're him. You see what I'm saying? Man. All right, let's keep going. Let's get through this. So, this is the Hebrew word for messenger or angel. It is malak, okay? That's mem, lamed, aleph, kaf, right? So, I told y'all in the past, and I just posted this teaching from January, where we was going through this, is that it's about giving a teaching to the masses from the strong leader. So it's about giving a teaching. Y'all see that? Y'all see that rod of correction just like she had on the thing? Giving a teaching. Giving, that's the hand. That could mean to give or receive. So it's like giving a teaching from the strong leader to the multitudes, to the masses. Y'all see? That's the breakdown for Malak, the messenger. So that's what a messenger does. They give a teaching from the strong leader, which is Yahuwah, right? To the multitudes. Now that teaching, that's not a pay. So it's not just a word. It's a word, but it can be. The rod is given a teaching through correction, through chastisement. That's why I got to be reading this kind of Omer stuff. Or a word, or both. That's what the Nabiim did. That's what the Nabiim did. The Nabiim, a lot of times they were giving correction. A lot of times that's what the Nabiim did. They were giving correction. It wasn't really a whole lot of times it wasn't really a whole lot of times that you saw the Nabiim saying, you're going to get that car you were looking for. Be looking out and buy this oil, write down what you want, mail it to me with your offering, mail it to me with your gift of $20 or more, and you're going to get that thing. Prophet Deacon Jenkins, P.O. Box, care of Prophet Deacon Jenkins. And you're going to get that thing. In the scriptures, the prophets, for the most part, they were giving correction. They were saying, man, thus says Yahuwah, y'all are moving in iniquity. Y'all are moving wicked. And thus says the Most High, if you keep moving like this judgment is going to come. This judgment is going to come upon you. Oh, because you didn't heed my words, I'm going to cause these nations to come and they're going to destroy everything. They're going to destroy you and your seed. This is the type of word, for the most part, the Nabi'im were coming with. Chastisement, correction, that's the rod. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of times the Nabi'im weren't liked a whole lot, because they really wasn't, a lot of times they weren't really telling people what they want to hear at all. Yahuwah was like, yeah, look, he's going to a people who think they thub a lot of times, because most people can't see themselves. Oh, everybody always think they thub. Hey, look, I ain't slapped nobody in like 5 months. I ain't killing nobody. I ain't never killed nobody before, so I know I'm righteous. Like, what? That's your... Man. Real. I ain't never killed nobody. I know I'm a good person, so then you think you're a through person, and somebody comes and that says the Most High, hey, look, y'all are moving this way, y'all are doing this, y'all are doing that. Therefore, these judgments are going to come about on you. So then you got people, a lot of people didn't like the Nabi'im. And they were literally of Yahuwah. So much so that it was whole groups of people coming against the Nabi'im. They would come with a different word. No, don't listen to what he's saying. No, this is what the Most High said. Everything going to be great. We're going to be thub and in shalom. And because that's what everybody wanted to hear, the majority will start following that. And then you got the real prophet, and it'll be like 30 of the other ones saying this other word. And you got the real prophet, might be a couple of them saying, no, I'm telling y'all, no, y'all ain't moving right. Y'all been worshiping other Aluas. Y'all been over on the temple worshiping the son of Alu. Y'all been doing, man, the Most High finna judge y'all. Man, Babylon finna come destroy everything. And you got these other people saying the opposite thing. So you'll see that even today. Like I just saw today, there was somebody who posted something online against somebody else and coming against the rebirth. And but I'm telling you, this is what happens. This is the kingdom of Nabi'im. This is what happens. Every time a word is being brought forth from the Most High to the nations, it always has to be another word, a false word, trying to come against that. Every single time. That's how it always has been. So you just got to expect that. It just comes with the territory. What it means is that we are, y'all know in the world when they be like, man, when you got them haters, that's how you know you're doing something right. You know what I'm saying? Because the kingdom of darkness, they're looking at it as a threat, so they're trying to do something to stop this word that's going out. So what better way than to use, because, man, it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. It's crazy. So anyway, let's keep going. So basically, another way to look at this is that Malak has the word Melek in it, okay? Melek is the Hebrew word for king. What's the only difference between Melek, king, and Malak, angel or messenger? The olive, right? And what does the olive mean? Right. So all of Malak is, he's the strong leader behind the Melek. The Malak is the strong leader that drives the Melek. He's the strong leader that drives the Malak is the strong leader that drives the Melek. That's why when we talked about this past about how you saw even the king of Tyre, the Melek of Tyre, He had Hasatan behind him. He was the power behind him. That's why the Melek of Tyre, the king of Tyre, was so powerful. He had all this wealth and prestige, and he had all this influence and all this stuff. They were, and then Yahuwah spoke a judgment against him through Ezekiel. And when Yahuwah spoke to him, so this was Ezekiel speaking to him. I'm saying Yahuwah, but you got to understand, Yahuwah used his Nabi to speak to him. This was Ezekiel. And so when Ezekiel was prophesying against Tyre, and this is the thing, he probably wasn't talking directly to the king of Tyre in his face, because Ezekiel was in captivity in Babylon. Y'all know that, right? When you read the book of Ezekiel, if y'all didn't know that, we've been going through Ezekiel in the prep day teaching, but I know everybody don't be on there, I understand. Ezekiel was in captivity in Babylon, which is, I don't know, probably thousands of miles. It's a long way away from Tyre. Tyre is north of Israel, on the coast, on the water. You see what I'm saying? So Yahuwah had Ezekiel to basically declare against this nation way over in captivity. That ring a bell? And when he declared against this king, when he spoke and prophesied against this king, he didn't speak directly to, well, he said a little bit of stuff about the king, but he was speaking to the power behind that king. Now does that make more sense of what Paul was saying when he says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers? Somebody pull up that scripture. What's that? Bring that out, Ephesians 6, Bakir Aloof. Because we got to understand this. Even with these people that's coming and speaking against us, you got to understand what's going on. That
Ephesians 6 and 12. Is that it? All right. Everybody there? For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities.
Against who?
Principalities.
Against what else?
Against powers.
Against what else?
Against the rulers of the darkness of this age.
And against what?
Against spiritual hosts of wickedness in heavenly places.
That's it. Listen, y'all, I want y'all to understand this. We are Malakim. The assemblies Yahuwah is giving. So y'all remember when y'all saw thrones and things like that? Like there are seats and there are thrones and there are dominions, and Yahuwah is causing us to have dominion, like dominion over regions. That's what the principalities used to do. That's a principality. So the Most High is setting us, like we taking the places of the principalities. You was throwing down, tearing down thrones and setting up thrones. You get what I'm saying? This is where we are. This is how the kingdom is established. This is how these things move forward. A world within a world. A world within a world. So keep that in mind. All right. So Melek and Malak, and the Malak is the strong leader behind the Melek. That's why you have the strong leader in there. All right, Sheol. So, okay, y'all take notes because we're going to talk about a lot of Hebrew, and then we'll wrap it up. But let's talk about Sheol in Hebrew, okay? So Sheol in Hebrew is Sheol. It's the Shin, Aleph, Uwa, Lamed. So as you see, that rod of correction is in the Hebrew word for Sheol, or the Hebrew word for, hell or the grave, the abode of the underworld, the abode of the dead, etc. It is Shin, Aleph, Uwa, Lamed. Shin, Aleph, Uwa, Lamed. And it's about a separating done by the strong leader based on who's attached to the yoke. So it's a separating that's done by the strong leader. It's a separating that's happening. That's done by the strong leader, and it's based on who's attached to the yoke. So there's a separating done based on who you yoke to, who the person is yoked to. Y'all get what I'm saying? That's Sheol. Those who are yoked to Yahusha go into Abraham's bosom. Those who are yoked to any other Alua or anyone else are going into the other part of Sheol. You see what I'm saying? So the strong leader, he separates, he divides. That's the sheen, to separate, to divide, to cut, based on what yoke you are attached to. We talked about that for years, about making sure you yoke to Yahusha, right? It's basically about those who are yoked to Yahusha will go into Abraham's bosom. And those who are not will not make it there. They won't make it there. All right, y'all got it? All right. So the root word for Sheol is Sheol. That's the root word for Sheol, is Sheol, which just means to ask or to inquire. It means to ask or to inquire. The only difference between Sheol and Sheol don't have the uwa in there. That's the root word for Sheol, okay? It's basically about dividing the all. Dividing the all, dividing the Alua, the Alim. Y'all get it? It's about dividing the Alim. It's about who you are inquiring to. It's about who you are inquiring to, who you are going to serve, who you are going to receive. It's a division of the Aluas. Sha'al, ask, inquire. That makes sense? It'll make more sense as we keep going. Here's a scripture reference. Okay, this is Devarim 32. I don't know how that was blue. Is that blue? That's strange, huh? Okay. Man, that mug sapphire? That's really strange. We're just going to go with it. All right, Devarim 32:8. When the Most High divided, remember that Sheol is based off of the root word that's about dividing the alls, dividing the alim. So keep that in mind, okay? Devarim 32. When the Most High divided their inheritance to the nations, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the boundaries of the people. See, this is about boundaries. This is about regions. He set the boundaries of the peoples according to the number of who? The children of Yisrael. Now, if you look at the Septuagint, y'all know what the Septuagint is? Is there anybody that does not know what the Septuagint is? Okay, so the Septuagint is just another manuscript. Back in the ancient days, the scriptures, the Torah, was translated into Greek by Israelites, because Greek was the common language during the days of like around the 1st century and a little bit before that. So that's what the Septuagint is. It's the Greek Septuagint. It's basically the Torah and the Tanakh translated from Hebrew to Greek by Israelites. You know, like right now, how we all speak English. Because of the captivity, we all Israelites, but none of us speak in Hebrew. The only people that can speak Hebrew are some of the most some of the most learned of the scholars in Israel. Like, I know a couple of Israelites that can speak Hebrew, but you're talking about very well-learned scholars, right, in Hebrew. And so that's generally how it was back then, around the 1st century, around 250 BC, roughly, 200 years before the 1st century, going into the 1st century. It got to the point to where, because of the captivity, most Israelites were not speaking Hebrew. You only had the most devout ones that really understood and could really speak Hebrew. But a lot of them were speaking Aramaic or speaking Greek and other languages now. And so what happened was you had these Hebrew scholars, they went and translated into Greek so that the masses of their people can read the scriptures. You get it? So that's what the Septuagint is, all right? So when you go to the Septuagint, it actually says that when the Most High divided their inheritance to the nations, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the boundaries of the peoples according to the number of the sons of Elua. And it's a thub idea. I say it's a thub thing to have a Septuagint. It's thub just for study, just to kind of see how. I'll submit to y'all that this is saying the same thing. Sons of Elua, children of Israel. Sons of Elua, children of Israel. I submit to y'all this is saying the same thing 2 different ways. Y'all get what I'm saying? Number 1, children is bani, that's sons. You know, sometimes in English they translate it to children because bani could mean sons or it could mean children, you know, sons and daughters. And then they got sons of Elua. Now, Septuagint says sons of Elua. Now, the sons of Elua is very interesting because that goes back to Genesis 6. Is everybody familiar with Genesis 6? Let's go to Genesis 6 real fast. Let's go to Bakir Aluf. See, because the sons of Elua were Aus. They were Alim. All right, everybody there? All right, let's go.
Starting at verse 1.
Yes, sir.
Now it came to pass, when man began to multiply on the face of the earths, and the daughters were born to them, that the sons of Elua saw the daughters of men.
All right, right away, that should strike something right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because according to this verse, Yahuwah said, that he set the boundaries of the peoples according to the numbers of the sons of Elua.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's keep going.
That the sons of Elua saw the daughters of men, that they were beautiful. They took wives for themselves and all whom they chose.
All right, so they took wives for themselves and all whom they chose. And what else?
And Yahuwah said, my spirit shall not strive with man forever.
What verse you on?
Verse 3.
All right, so let's look at this. So this is what Melekiym was talking about. So it says, the sons of Elua saw daughters of men, that they were beautiful, and they took wives for themselves and all whom they chose. Now, after they did that, Yahuwah said he won't strive with man no more. Then in verse 4, it talks about the giants on the earth. Read verse 4.
There were giants on the earths in those days and also afterward, when the sons of Elua came to the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. Those were the mighty men who were of old, men of renown.
These sons of Elua were Eluas. They were celestial beings. It says they came down, they basically left where they came from, and they laid with the daughters of men, right? Yes, sir. And because of that, there were giants on the earth, and basically because of that, the Most High was not pleased. He was ready to go ahead and flood the earth, right? Mm-hmm. Right. Remember when we were talking about the importance of not laying with people outside of here. So if you read the book of Enoch and about the sons of Elua, it goes in more detail that the Most High judged them and they were chained for this. This was a big sin against Yahuwah. Now that we know that we are Malakim, if you leave your estate, if you are a Malak of the Most High, and you leave your estate because you saw the daughters of men that they look good to you, and you laid with them, if this is if this is a world within the world, if this is Abraham's bosom, a place of refuge in the midst of Sheol, and you go out to Sheol, you go out to the other world, you leave this world and go and get a female from the other world and lay with her, you're doing the same thing that these sons of Alua did that got judged. Because you're a son of Alua. You're a celestial being too, just like they were. Now you see why fornication is such a big deal. You leaving your estate. You're doing what the sons of Alua did here in Genesis 6. If you do something like that. And what happened? So they came and they laid with and there was these giants, these hybrid beings. It was this wicked seed that came out of it, right? Mm-hmm. That corrupted the earth, didn't they?
Yes, sir.
What was Melekiym talking about this whole time throughout Pesach? Having his Kodesh sheet. That's why you can't go to get into fornication. That's why you can't go and go out there and go and just get anybody, because it'll be a wicked seed that'll come out of that. That's what happened. That's Genesis 6. It's this wicked seed that came and was birthed out of those unions from these celestial beings. This has really happened too. You can read it all. Like, you look at even in Greek mythology, they talk about all the same stuff. Actually, in almost every ancient civilization, they have some story about some giants and stuff like that. And celestial beings coming down and mixing with other beings. You are a celestial being. So why would you go and mix with somebody who's of the world? You would mix your seed with somebody that's of the world. Yeah, you'll get these hybrid beings out of that. But you'll be leaving your estate, and that's what they did. They left their estate. So Melekiym has been talking about in the Sons of Light series. You can lose your estate by marrying the wrong people, y'all. That goes back to Sheol, though, dividing the Alim. So here's an example of Sheol. So the children of Israel inquired of Yahuwah. Who are you inquiring of? That inquire, that's Sheol. Here's another example. So David inquired of Yahuwah, saying, shall I pursue this troop? Shall I overtake them? And answer them, pursue, for you shall surely overtake them, and without fail recover all. So you see, a lot of times the context was inquiring of Yahuwah whether you should go and take this ground. Inquiring of Yahuwah whether you should go. Who are you inquiring of when it's time to go to war? That's who your Alua is. When it's time to fight, who are you inquiring of? That's Sheol. Because those who are not attached to Yahusha, they against Yahusha. Shemuel Rishon, 1 Samuel 30. Look at this one. At Gibeon, Yahuwah appeared to Solomon in a dream by night. And Alua said what? That's Sheol. Ask, Sheol, what shall I give you? And that's when Solomon asked for wisdom. Yahushua HaMashiach, he said almost the exact same thing. So actually, there's a chance that might have been Yahushua who visited Solomon. Because look what Yahushua said here, ask and it will be given to you. Look what Yahuwah said to Solomon. He said, ask, what shall I give you? Ask and it will be given to you. Sheol. That's the root word for Sheol, y'all. Who are you inquiring of? Are you inquiring in Yahushua? That's what he's telling you to Sheol me. Ask. Like if you yoke to Yahushua, you're going to inquire to him. You're going to pray. When you inquire of him, you're praying to him. It's in prayer. You're seeking him. You are inquiring of him. Who are you praying to? You see what I'm saying? Because that's who you really yoked to. That's going to determine where you go in Sheol. That's why the words are connected to each other. Sheol and Sheol. Ask him to be given to you. Seek and you will find. knock, and it will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks it will be open. So we didn't think about this. Did y'all know that Sheol is related to Israel? That's the Hebrew word for Sheol, right? Shin Aleph U Lamed. And this is the Hebrew word for Israel. It literally has all the words for Sheol in it except the Uwa. So that's how you know they're related to each other. It actually has the root word for Sheol in there, which is Sha'al, Shin Aleph Lamed. The Hebrew word for Yisrael, the breakdown is a power that divides the heads based on the strong leader they are yoked to. It's a power that divides the heads based on the strong leader that they are yoked to. Or in other words, based on the all, based on the allure. Yisrael is a power that divides the heads based on the strong leader they are yoked to. Y'all remember in Genesis 3 when Yahuwah said, I'm going to put an enmity between your seed and her seed. And I'm paraphrasing for time. But he basically said that he will bruise your heel and he will crush his head. That word for head is rosh, roshim. That's the Hebrew word for head there. So it was about two heads. You had the heads of the people of Hasatan and the heads of the people of Yahuwah. You get what I'm saying? Right. He will bruise your heel, he will crush your head. It's two seeds. Those who are yoked to Yahusha, in other words, and those who are in the world, with Hasatan. So Yasharel is very closely related to Sheol because you have Sha'al in there, which is the root word for Sheol. Y'all follow me? That's how this works. Okay. So we're going to keep looking at this. So you also have same word. So you also have She'ir in there, which means singer, song, right? Let's go back. Let's see. So that's Yisrael. And that's Sheer. That's the word singers, songs, etc. Music, musicians, things like that. That's the Shin Yod Resh. Y'all see that? So what is that saying? So this nation of Yisrael has to be a nation of singers. A matter of fact, you would probably find the best musicians in the world coming out of this nation because Yahuwah literally put the word for singers in the name of this nation. Israel literally has the best musicians in the world, y'all. Literally. Let me ask y'all something. Have you ever heard of a Ukrainian a music band able to go to all parts of the world and people are going, even if they don't understand the language, going to jam to their music?
Nope. No, sir.
Nah, but this is important. That's why it's important to understand this Hebrew, because you got some people saying they Israel and they ain't able to do that. The people who say they're Israel right now, is there anything about them that they known for music? Anybody listen to their music at all except themselves? They make a lot of music, but who else listens to their music other than themselves? And they say they're Israel. I submit, this proves they not. Just looking at the Hebrew proves that they not. It got to be a people who is like, because Yahuwah put singer, the word for singer, for songs, the musicians in the name of the nation, but don't nobody listen to their music but themselves? No. This nation is going to be a people who actually are like the musicians of the world. Man, I remember back in the day, I used to listen to these dudes called Wu-Tang Clan. I was younger than middle school, man, and I thought they was cold, boy. They probably one of my first. Nah, that wasn't my first. I'm from the East Coast. But, Method Man and all that, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people still know who Method Man is today. He's still I think he's the main one who actually still does stuff today. But man, I remember they used to literally go to China and do shows and sell out shows. And these people did not know English, and they would dress like Wu-Tang. They would try to be like them. Michael Jackson would be in East Europe doing shows, and these European guys, people, I think it was like Poland or one of them countries you never heard of, Kazakhstan, selling out shows. People fainting. I don't know what the country called, but I remember that. That stuff was wild. I know I made it up, but it was one of them nations out there though. It's out there somewhere.
Being foreigner or something.
The musicians of the world, that's Israel. So the word for song, the word for Hebrew word shear is about pressing the heads. Now remember, Israel has Sheol in it too, and it has songs in it. This was that discourse from Josephus that we talked about before. It says, "For there is one descendant to this region at whose gate we believe there stands an archangel with an host, which gate when those pass through that are conducted down by the Malakim appointed over souls, they do not go the same way, but the just are guided to the right hand and are led with hymns sung by the Malakim, appointed over that place, unto a region of light in which the just have dwelt from the beginning of the world." Abraham's bosom. There got to be a place of songs and hymns, because Abraham is the father of the children of Israel. Israel is also, or Yasharal, or Melekiym, you should call it Yasharal, and you can see that you can look at it both ways, but that's, the Yasharal, or Yisrael. It's also related to Jerusalem. I bet y'all didn't notice that, huh? Yerushalayim. It almost has all the words for Yisrael in it. If you take the mem out, that's Yisrael. Only difference is no aleph. They're not in the same order, but y'all see this? When I cover the M, did that help? Y'all see it? Yod, Shin, Yiz, Resh. Only thing missing is the aleph. Then you got Ua Lamed. Then you got Lamed, not Ua. Yisrael. Yeah. Only thing missing is the aleph. Yeah. So Jerusalem. That's my bad. We'll get it. So Jerusalem has all these words in it. All these letters in it, I'm sorry. Jerusalem has all these letters in it. Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim. Except the mem. All those letters except the mem. So that's how you know they're closely related to each other. Whenever you see two words in Hebrew that have a lot of the same letters in it, that means there's a relation there. There's a relation there. Which makes sense because Jerusalem, or Yerushalayim in Hebrew, Yerushalayim, is the capital of Israel. It's the city of David. So that makes sense. Of course they relate it. Jerusalem is also, if so, this is the 1 + 1 = 2 thing. If Jerusalem is related to Yisrael, and Yisrael is related to Sheol, then that means Jerusalem is related to Sheol. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. Jerusalem has all the words of Sheol except the Aleph. Sheol is Sheen, Aleph, Alamed. Jerusalem has the Sheen, Alamed. So Jerusalem is related to Sheol as well. Because I submit to y'all that the Abraham's bosom is about the New Jerusalem. Yeah. So the breakdown for Jerusalem is the power over the heads being secured through splitting the waters with the rod. Remember what Moshe did? Yahuwah could have just split the waters, couldn't he? He could have just split the waters by himself. But no, Yahuwah had Moshe to pull out the rod, the staff, and then he split the waters. He let Moshe do it with the staff, with the rod. You see what I'm saying? So it's about power over the heads or over the roshim being secured through splitting the waters with the rod. So what's another way of saying this? It's power over the heads being secured. So it's that power over the roshim. This is the other roshim of the other nations. Being secured. It's the power being secured over them through the pressing the nations with the rod. That's another way to look at it. Pressing the nations with the rod as well. Because that's what splitting the waters with the rod symbolized. When Yahuwah had Moshe split the water with the rod, split the seas, that actually was symbolizing having dominion over the nations, pressing the nations. You see what I'm saying? That's why Jerusalem has the word mushal in it. That's in the word for that. Another word that's in Jerusalem is the word Yom. That's the word for day, cheer sons of light. So this new Jerusalem is gonna consist of these children of the light. Y'all knew that Yom meant day, huh? Isn't that a common word everybody knew? Yeah. You see that right here. It's in Jerusalem. Yod, Ua, Mem. You got the Hebrew word for sea in there too, which is Yam. Yod, Mem, the first letter and the last letter. I didn't put that in there. But you have Yam in there. Because I submit because it's about having dominion over the seas, over the marine kingdom. The New Jerusalem is prophesied to have dominion over those things. You have all these words in Jerusalem. All these words in there because they all related to Jerusalem in one way, shape, or form. Oh, my bad. There you go. Because Jerusalem is all about the day. A matter of fact, there will be a time during the times of the New Jerusalem where there will be no more night. Y'all remember that? Y'all ever read that in Revelation? Yeah, the New Jerusalem, there will be no more night. It'll be always day. So no wonder the word Yom is in Jerusalem. Children of the day, sons of light, all these references. And you see it right here in the Hebrew. Let's go to Revelation 22. Let's start with verse 1.
Right there. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding from the throne of Elua and of the Lamb, in the middle of its streets. In the middle of its street, and on either side of the river was a tree of life, which bore 12 fruits, each tree yielding its fruit every month. The leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. There shall be no more curse, but the throne of Elua and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him. They shall see his face, and his name shall be on their foreheads. There shall be no night there.
There shall be what?
There shall be no night there.
There you go.
That's it. They need no lamp nor light of the sun, for Yahuwah, Elua, gives them light.
Man.
And they shall reign forever and ever.
So this is about reign and dominion. Jerusalem. That's why Mushal is in that word. Actually, Mushal also means dominion. If you pull up, that's why I put the Strong's numbers on there. Y'all can pull it up yourself, and y'all can see. I don't put all the meanings in there, but you can look it up yourself. It'll have all the different biblical usage in there. One of the ones is reign and dominion. That's why Mushal is in Jerusalem, because the New Jerusalem is about having dominion and reigning forever and ever. It's the kingdom of eternal excellency. This is what it is. Keep going, verse 6.
Then he said to me, these words are faithful and true. And Adonai, Elua of holy prophets, sent his angel to show his servants the things which must shortly take place.
And hold on, and Adonai, Elua of who?
Holy prophets.
And Adonai, Elua of who?
Kodesh prophets.
Does it say Adonai, Elua of the humans? Of the prophets, sent his Malak to show his servants the things which must shortly take place. Why does it say Adonai, Elua of the holy prophets? It's because that's who he deals with. That's who he is with. Elua is with us.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
That's who he's with. Let's keep going. Verse 7.
Behold, I am coming quickly. Blessed is he who keeps these words of the prophecy of this book. Now I, Yochanan, saw and heard these things. When I heard and saw, I fell down to worship before the feet of the Malek, who showed me these things. Then he said to me, see that you do not do that, for I am your fellow servant, and of you, brethren and prophets, and of those who keep the words of this book, worship Elua. And he said to me, do not seal the words of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. He who is unjust, let him be unjust still. He who is filthy, let him be filthy still. He who is righteous, let him be righteous still. He who is Kodesh, let him be Kodesh still. Verse 12, and behold, I am coming quickly, and my reward is with me, to give everyone according to his work. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are those who do his commandments, that they may have the right to the tree of life and may enter through the gates into the city. But outside are dogs and sorcerers and sexually immoral and murderers and idolaters and whoever loves and practices a lie.
Ain't that all that's outside of here?
Yes, sir.
Is that what's inside here?
No, nope.
No, why? Because this is Abraham's bosom. And anyone who's inside here who moves in any of those ways, what happens? They end up going out there. Yahuwah ends up kicking them out, basically. And so they're out there. That's how it works. That's how it works. Do y'all know that that there were many Malakim that were kicked out of the Shamayim?
Right.
Hasatan was one of them. Do y'all know that Hasatan literally rebelled against Yahuwah and got kicked out because he rebelled, and a lot of people followed Hasatan because Hasatan was so crafty, and so that Yahuwah kicked them out too? Just another word to keep in mind that's in Yerushalayim is guard, shamar. That's in Yerushalayim. It's shamar, which means to guard and to keep. Means to guard and to keep. So, just keep all those things in mind, y'all. But nevertheless, and y'all are moving as Malakim as well. But even Malakim can get kicked out. That's what you saw in the Shamayim. That's what you saw with Hasatan. Even the Malakim can rebel. I think we had this understanding in the church that, even though we knew about Hasatan in the church and stuff like that, and him getting kicked out, it was still, it's hard to picture celestial beings who was before Yahuwah and before his throne doing something to get kicked out. It's kind of hard to picture that. Nah, we see it in these assemblies. Some of the people who got removed actually were Malakim. I know people who were in the assemblies who had gifts, Ruach gifts, who could prophesy and everything, who rebelled and got kicked out, y'all. And what happens is that it's just like with Hasatan. It's like once that you'll still have that gift. It'll transition from Nabiim to witchcraft, from prophet to sorcerer. The gift will be there, though. A lot of times the gift will be there. But you forfeited your estate, so it just won't really be used like that from a righteous perspective. You might even hear stuff that's just not true, it's not real. You'll get false words. Actually, those false words that the prophets were getting in the scriptures, I bet a lot of those prophets that were giving those false words actually heard that. I really believe a lot of those prophets, they weren't just going to lie on Yahuwah on purpose. Most people ain't that crazy. But because of their iniquity, because of their rebellion, they were worshiping other Eluahs. They were doing all these things. They were dabbling in all this stuff from the other nations. They would hear stuff that was false. Sometimes it's from another Ruach. You will allow it. He'll just open it up. You'll start hearing stuff that's not real, that's not true, I mean. And you think you prophesying and it ain't true. Yeah. Y'all remember that scripture where the Most High sent a lion Ruach to the one, was it Ahab? Who was it, Ahab? He sent a lion Ruach to King Ahab to purposely give him a false word. Spread it out. Spread it out. Did anybody have anything in the thing? Got a couple things, huh? Oh, okay. I mean, man, what are you doing? All right, Bakir Yamin Manu said, 1 Kings 8, 46 through 47. He said, when they sin against you, for there is no one who does not sin, and you become angry with them and deliver them to the enemy, and they take them captive to the land of the enemy, far or near, yet when they come to themselves in the land where they were carried captive and repent and make supplication to you in the land of those who took them captive, saying, we have sinned and done wrong, we have committed wickedness. Solomon was not be. Man, that's it. Yeah, that's literally exactly what happened. All praise to the Most High. Told out to Yahusha. All right, do anybody have any questions, though? Any questions on their houses or anything? The floor is open to y'all. Or any comments? Go ahead, Ema. Yeah. That's a great question. So she said, can I explain the splitting of the all? So it's about the Most High had separated the Aluas. So the Alim, the Gods. He separated the Aluas based on the numbers of the sons of Aluas. So he separated basically, so there's 70 nations, and there is an Alua. I'm glad you asked that because I didn't really explain that. I kind of moved on. But he separated every region had an Alua over each region. You know what I'm saying? There were 70 nations and there were 70 people of the children of Israel that came out came into Mitzrayim. And each nation had their own Alua. So that's why today if you go to India, they do Hinduism, they got their own Alua. You go to another region, they got their own Alua. It's based off of region because they're based off, these are principalities, these are based off of principalities that literally have dominion over certain regions. That's why you go to a certain region, and listen, in America, they try to make it like, they had a thing called separation between church and state where they try to separate the Alua with the law of the land. And there ain't no separate, they go hand in hand. Hand in hand. That's why Islam has a whole law to it. They call it Sharia law. That's why you go in a Hindu territory, they got their own ways of doing things. You can't just kill no cow in a Hindu territory. They'll look at, I think you can't even kill mice. Or they'll look at that as an abomination, and you might can get in trouble for that. Out here, you can't kill a dog, but you go to China and they eat dogs like it's chicken. At least certain parts of China, you know what I'm saying? You kill a dog in the U.S. and you can go to jail for it. You see what I'm saying? But those are it's just that there's Aluas over every region. These Ruachs that have dominion, they have reign over every region, and the Most High separated based on the sons of Alua. So I submit it's prophetic that about how there's going to be a kingdom, because the sons of Alua were at first those from Genesis 6 who came down and they rebelled. But Yahuwah, and when you read the Brit Hadashah, then he says those who are in Yahusha, then they will be called sons of Alua. We're coming to replace them, basically. We're here to replace them. That's why Yahuwah is setting up a kingdom here. That's why all this revelation about dominion came about in the last year or so. All these things like that is because we're coming to take dominion. We're coming to replace them. Yes, that's why we're able to go to war and go to war literally against principalities. That's why you see these things happening. So that goes back to Sheol, because based on who you are, which Alua you are joined to, which is basically if you're not joined to Yahusha, only those who are joined to Yahuwah and Yahusha going to Abraham's bosom. Because it was the same thing with Abraham. That might be why they called it Abraham's bosom. He was in Babylon where even his parents were worshiping other Aluas, other alls. So he had to separate himself, and he had to deal with. He was in the midst. Abraham wasn't in the kingdom of Israel. He had to move. He was like, see, Abraham was probably the example of Abraham's bosom. That might be why they call it that, because Abraham was like a haven for the righteous. amongst all the heathen. Even when he was in Israel, it was Canaan at the time because it wasn't the kingdom of Israel yet. And the Most High made him him and his house like a haven for righteousness and for the righteous in the midst of all in Canaan. But yeah, I hope that made sense. What else, y'all? Anything else? Go ahead, Emma.
When I was looking at the word Israel,
Oh, yeah.
need a mic. When I was looking at the word Israel, I saw Isaac and Rachel.
Man, that's interesting right there. I like that. Yeah, Yitzhak and Raquel. I can see similarities there, especially phonetically. Anything else? I think Yitzhak means like laughter, I think. I don't know what Raquel means. I had to look it up. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I have to look into that. That's interesting. Yeah, it might be something to that. All right, y'all through? Okay, so this is the thing. You know, we had the revelation about moving in nobility and moving differently. If you know you are a Malakim moving across the arrest, there should be a different way that you should be moving now. Like the stuff that everybody else care about, y'all should be on a whole different note than the rest of the world. Sons, daughters too. It should be a lot easier for y'all not to be tempted by someone who's in another world than you. Knowing what happened to the first sons of Elua in Genesis 6. When you know that you are a son of Elua. But I'll praise to the Most High. Just keep that in mind. Praise Yahuwah. So we through, y'all. We through. Y'all can rest in it as long as y'all want. But I'm done on my end. Wait, hold on. We're going to do the Aaronic blessing real quick.
Rebirth of a nation. Hebrew kingdom building.